And have you yourself uh, had any kind of like vocals, up close vocals, or even any kind of encounters?
Yes, it was in April actually, and I have not done a podcast on it yet with a gentleman, but a guy I met with in North Carolina. He lives at the base of the South Mountains, which are the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And he invited me up to camp one night, and he's had activity on his property. A couple of videos he had sent me of something, a creature that was 2 feet taller than a particular fence. And we actually recreated that video or stood where the creature was. And my head came, I'm almost 6 foot tall. My head came just to the top of the fence, maybe a little below, and whatever was standing there, he recorded was about 2 feet above that. And it had a shape to it, top and shoulders, but you really couldn't tell much else because he had a spotlight on it, shining his spotlight and recording at the same time. But going back to you asking me about me having an encounter with vocalizations, we hiked that evening. I got there and went up a ridge line, came back down, and he had showed me a spot where him and some guys had a rock thrown at them. And it was a trail that goes back down the side of the ridge, back down towards the creek where we were camping. Well, we just were acting natural that night. No wood knocks, no howls, no whoops or anything. And we had a small campfire. I had my tent set up. He had his set up. And at about midnight, from maybe a mile away, we heard a long sustained howl, and we looked at each other and we're like, "Oh wow, that was really interesting." To preface this, this gentleman is experienced at Bigfoot research. He's been doing it for a while. So about 1:30, we decided to hit the tents, and I remember going to sleep about 2 a.m, and then about 4 a.m, Joe, it was three howls. I want to say, I don't know what to say about Dogman. I'm still kind of up in the air on that particular creature, but it was almost like a large dog or Bigfoot. I don't know, but it was three powerful, loud howls that were up behind us. And I said, "Hey," I said, "Are you up?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you hear that?" He said, "Yes, I did." And we sit there, and I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. I had my audio stuff with me. I had my night vision, and I'm going to back up just a second. Earlier that night by the campfire, he heard something. So I kind of scanned the creek and the tree line behind the creek, and we caught eyes looking at us through my thermal. So I kept my thermal on the particular creature, whatever it was, and he walked behind me with a spotlight and shined exactly where the eyes were. And we did not see anything. And the spotlight did not light up a creature. So I stopped the video shortly after that, and got video of it. I just haven't done anything with it yet. The trip was kind of disturbing actually, but going back to the howls. So I just laid my head back down to go to sleep, maybe 4:10 or 4:15. And I'm not joking. Across the creek or in the creek, or the creek was probably 15 yards from us, maybe 20. We both heard the deepest guttural growl that you could imagine. And the only thing I could find to compare it to online was a lion's growl. And it was extremely intimidating. I said, "Hey, did you hear that?" He said, "Yes." I said, "What do you want to do?" And recording anything was completely out of my mind. It was fear that took over. And, because I had a thermal, I had I had one camera, I had my phone as a camera and audio as well. And my intentions were to go up there to record stuff and do some audio recording and video recording. But we got out of camp shortly after that. We left. We packed up everything except our tents. and said, let's go to the truck. And that's what happened.